Episode 78, Managing Expectations Without Killing Momentum. Intro, Theme and Focus. In today's episode, we're talking about one of the most underrated skills in business, managing expectations. A lot of workplace problems don't come from poor performance. They come from misaligned expectations. Someone assumed a deadline, someone else stayed silent, and suddenly, everyone's frustrated, even though nobody actually failed. Strong professionals understand that results matter, but expectations shape how those results are judged. That's what we're focusing on today. Monologue. This is why experienced professionals always set realistic expectations early. It's not about being pessimistic, it's about being honest. When expectations are too high, you sometimes need to temper expectations before momentum turns into pressure. That doesn't mean slowing things down. It means making sure enthusiasm matches reality. This becomes critical when people overcommit. It happens all the time, especially in fast-moving environments. Promises are made with good intentions, but without full visibility. And once those promises are out there, correcting them can feel awkward. But here's the truth. It's far better to walk something back early than to explain delays later. Resetting expectations protects trust. Another factor professionals often underestimate is managing the optics. Confidence matters, how things look matters. But optics without realism eventually collapse. Internally, teams need space to deliver. Externally, stakeholders need clarity. That's why seasoned professionals rely on a simple principle: underpromise and overdeliver. Not because expectations should be low, but because credibility compounds. Every time you exceed what you promised, trust grows. So if there's one takeaway from today's episode, it's this. When you manage expectations well, you don't kill momentum, you protect it. Expression breakdown 1. Set realistic expectations. Meaning, to clearly explain what is achievable within the given time, budget, or resources. Why it matters, prevents disappointment and conflict later. Example. Let's set realistic expectations for this quarter. 2. Temper expectations. Meaning, to slightly lower excitement or assumptions so they match reality. Why it matters, a diplomatic way to correct over-optimism without sounding negative. Example. We should temper expectations before announcing the launch. 3. Overcommit. Meaning, to promise more than you can realistically deliver. Why it matters often leads to stress, delays, and credibility loss. Example. Sales overcommitted on the delivery timeline. 4. Walk something back. Meaning, to revise or reduce a previous promise or statement. Why it matters allows professional correction without directly admitting failure. Example. We'll need to walk back the original deadline. 5. Manage the optics. Meaning, to consider how a situation appears to others, especially clients or stakeholders. Why it matters. Perception influences trust as much as facts do. Example. We need to manage the optics while adjusting internally. 6. Underpromise and overdeliver. Meaning to promise conservatively and then exceed expectations. Why it matters. Builds long-term credibility and confidence. Example. Our approach is to underpromise and overdeliver. Final thought. Managing expectations isn't about lowering standards. It's about protecting trust, credibility, and momentum. Professionals who master this don't just deliver results, they control the narrative around those results.